shots were fired in this promo. I was on the edge of my seat, dude. What about you?
Man, I've been looking forward to this, but I also had been a little bit timid because I was scared that Cena was absolutely going to eat Cody alive. But I don't know if they held him back. I don't know if Cena was going all out. But it sure seemed like Cody stayed right there with him, man. Especially about the old Vienna sausage in the jorts comment. That was pretty great.
There was so many good comments from both guys, man. Cody acknowledging the tattoo first, and then Cena saying that it was dumb that he did it. Cena really giving all the politically correct answers, and Cody really giving all the rallying the troops answers kind of thing. So it was.
Have you ever watched 8 Mile with Eminem?
I'm not.
Okay, so basically during their rap battles, Eminem gets to his final challenge, the best rapper that they have going up against Eminem. And what he does is he takes everything that he knows that other rapper can make fun of him about and just uses it on himself, just puts it out there. And the other guy's like, he just drops the mic because there's nothing else left to say. And that's exactly what Cody did. I don't know if this was like, come on, guys, let's just go out there and give him what you got, or if any of this was planned. But what Cody did was genius, especially if it was not planned.
Yeah, I wonder how much, because we know that Cena likes to be off the cuff, and we know that he likes to, that's how he got the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick, is he was freestyle rapping and Stephanie McMahon heard him. So we know that he's done a lot of off the cuff stuff for his career. And I'm sure Cody likes to have some sort of plan. So I'm sure they were, hit points along the way, but for the most part, I feel like these guys probably just went out there and riffed a little bit, and Cody stood toe to toe with him, like you said. And for all the shots that we took, Cody made fun of himself for getting booed in AEW, the company that he created. And, Cena telling him that he stole the billionaire's son's money and all this.
That was good.
That was hilarious. But man, Cody's shot about Vince McMahon and how Cena was Vince's guy, dude, the reaction of the crowd and everything. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
You could hear it. It wasn't just like an instant reaction. It was like a gasp, like a, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great, dude. Again, regardless of how this whole thing came about, I loved what happened, man. I thought they both hit home runs.
Yep, I did too. And the crowd thought the same thing, because Jared, if you noticed, as Cena was wrapping up this promo and him saying that he was going to take the Real World Championship home with him, he got some cheers, man. Like, I know that it seems like doing this overseas, maybe they thought it would be better on, Cena getting booed, which he has definitely gotten booed. But over the last couple of weeks, Jared, people are starting to get a little bit behind him. It might be a good thing that this is supposedly the last appearance by Cena before WrestleMania.
Yeah, there were a few interesting takes that they had. I did notice that Bianca Belair also got booed, it sounded like. And she's not even like a heel as far as I know. I mean, they've just decided that they don't like her. And I mean, that's awesome. But it did worry me, yes. I really hope that everybody stays behind Cody and that they don't do exactly what I did, which was end up loving this version of John Cena and
buying the t-shirt and the hat and the whole 9 yards.
It worked on me, man. It's been forever since I bought myself any kind of clothing, especially a wrestling related clothing.
Yes.
But the hat and this shirt, had to have it, man.
Listen, I can vouch for that. A lot of people, might be listening to this and be like, oh, Jared's just blowing smoke. He's been watching wrestling his whole life. Of course he buys wrestling stuff. No, I can't tell you all how many times I've tried to talk Jared. Won't you buy this shirt? Won't you buy this shirt? That's a cool shirt. That's a cool shirt. And Jared's no. He's held his ground. And then here he is in John Cena gear.
Yes. And I love it.
Yeah.
Fits quite nice. WWE, we will take a sponsor. I mean, we'll push your stuff. Just holler at your boys.
Here it is. Ready? I'm wearing the new Cody Rhodes hoodie. I'm wearing a hat, WWE hat. I mean, I wear shirt every week. So yeah, sure. Throw the gear our way. We would appreciate it. Jared, one thing to talk about with this promo, because again, we got 2 weeks. I don't know how much we're going to talk about this over the next 2 weeks. Of course, we're going to preview it during WrestleMania week. With Cena not being on the show, I don't know exactly how much we'll dive into this, but as we look at this promo, there were so many things that we wanted. We're going to get to the physicality in just a second, but the big thing, The Rock was finally brought up in this promo, Jared. And Cody bringing up, why did you do what you did? We haven't heard why. And I wasn't the one that sold my soul to The Rock. You did. So it's finally been acknowledged. So, Jared, if you're putting your fantasy booking hat on, we haven't seen Rock since Elimination Chamber. We probably won't see him until WrestleMania. So, what do you think The Rock's status is with all this? Like, where do you think The Rock fits into all of this? Because I think they've done a great job of separating heel John Cena from what happened at the Elimination Chamber. So much so that they're clearly investing in it, and it's going to last longer than just WrestleMania, in my opinion. So where does The Rock fit into all this?
Have you heard of the theories that are kind of going around about that there's a possibility that Heyman could end up aligning himself with Seth Rollins, and that could be, you push kind of Paul Heyman that way.
Yep.
You have the Rock that could, I think he's going to step out of the picture a little bit, and I think he's going to come back after WrestleMania. And the only thing that makes sense, man, is you either have him come back because John Cena loses at Mania and he's the one that's going to take Cody's belt. I mean, or I guess you could have John Cena win the thing and then eventually have Cena drop it maybe toward the end of his run and have The Rock pop up, and that's the last final boss. You beat everybody else. You beat his henchman. Now you face The Rock. But it does seem like they're kind of pushing him out of the picture, maybe aligning different people with other people. It seems like they're kind of mixing up the turds in the toilet bowl a little bit.
What a reference. It's not one that I expected to hear tonight. They're definitely planting seeds like that they can always go back to, and they can, once something comes up, oh, well, we told you this a long time ago. And we'll talk about that with the Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins CM Punk match. But once we finally got The Rock brought into this, I'm not sure, to answer my own question, I'm not really sure where The Rock fits in all this. I tend to think,
speculate. You made me.
I know. I tend to believe that The Rock and John Cena will not necessarily be attached at the hip, but they'll be acquaintances for a common goal of taking out Cody Rhodes. Because if you listen to John Cena's promo tonight, it was all about, the reason I did it is because, Cody, you're a phony. You're not true. I tried to teach you all these lessons and you're not listening to me, and blah, 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 blah. Well, you go back and you look at The Rock, and The Rock doesn't want Cody to break his heart again. And Cody beat The Rock at WrestleMania. So, that's embarrassing to the final boss. So I think, Cena and Rock will loosely be aligned enough to probably have some sort of mega tag team match at SummerSlam where they team up against Cody and, at this point, probably not Roman Reigns, maybe Randy Orton. Maybe you pull somebody else out of the hat. Maybe you rope Seth Rollins back into this. I don't know exactly, but I think, you're speculating that SummerSlam is 2 nights. You got to have big matches for SummerSlam this year. It's in a stadium. So probably extending that long, I don't know for sure, but I do like your idea of like, okay, Cody, whether he wins or loses at WrestleMania, gets his belt back from Cena. Then he conquers The Rock at some point. When that is, I have no idea. But regardless, Jared, we got the physicality that we have been longing for between these two guys. Cena went for a cheap shot. Cody caught him with the crossroads. Cody is standing tall yet again. So he beats up Cena this week. Last week, Cena walked away from him. And the week before, Cena was in silence. So, Jared, that's really 3 weeks in a row that Cody has gotten the upper hand, and we're probably not going to see Cena until WrestleMania. So that begs the question, man, what does this look like for WrestleMania? Like, if this is all the build that we get, doesn't this sort of point to a Cena win?
I would think so. I really, in my mind, I don't know how that they further things if Cena doesn't win. But one of the reasons why I mentioned Paul Heyman whenever that we're talking about this is in my head. It just feels like at some point these stories are going to intertwine,
Mm.
like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Seth maybe getting together with Paul Heyman. Maybe Reigns gets upset. Somehow he comes back into the picture. The Rock steps back in. We've got all these big personalities. I mean, you could build this whole thing up and have an entire different scenario that's already basically kind of cooking, as everybody likes to say, for next year's WrestleMania. I
Yep.
mean, these two storylines intertwine. But back to your point, without getting too far off the rails, the only thing I see, man, is that Cena has to win. He has to win at
Mhm.
WrestleMania for this thing to keep going.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough if he doesn't. Like, the only thing that I could look at, again, going back to the point of Cena wants to take out Cody, Rock has been wanting to take out Cody. The only thing I see is Rock getting upset at Cena because Cena didn't beat Cody. Well, then Cena can just shoot back at Rock and say, well, you didn't beat him either. Or no, no, Rock did beat him.
Yes.
So Rock beat him, and he can say, okay, Cena, you didn't beat him. I beat him. So they could be at odds, but you're not really going to have a Cena Rock feud at this point. So I'm with you, man. As much as I don't want to see it, I think Cena probably wins here, and you set up whatever's next down the road.